Warm welcome to everyone. Today we are going to discuss one of the main form of market structures, that is monopoly. As you can see in the picture, there is a circle which denotes the market to overall market of the product, and in the major part of the market is covered by one single person, and all other sellers are standing on the other side which have minor portion. This picture itself presents the meaning of monopoly. Monopoly is made up of two words, that is mono and poly. Mono means single and poly means seller. Therefore, monopoly, we can say that it means a single seller who has complete control over the supply of the commodity. There is no close substitute of the commodity, and because due to the absence of competition, monopolist is a person who will decide the price of the product, and he is the price maker, not the price taker. According to Chamberlain, a monopoly market refers to a single firm which has control over the supply of a product which has no close substitute. Substitute refers to the products which can be used in exchange of each other. For example, tea and coffee, for pen and pencil, they are not perfect substitutes, but they are close substitutes to each other. Let's come to characteristics of monopoly. The main one and the most important characteristic of monopoly market is that there is only a single seller. In monopoly market, there is a single seller, or we can say a single producer. He has no rivals, he has no competition, and therefore he is the whole and soul of the market supply of the product. Second characteristic is no close substitutes. As there are no close substitutes for the commodity which are sold in the market under monopoly. Likewise, other firms may not have produced the same product. Therefore, monopolists, they don't have to face any sort of competition in the market. Third important point is barriers to entry. Barriers means obstacles. Under monopoly, the entry of other firms is strictly restricted. This is the way how monopoly is maintained. If there is no restriction, monopoly will not be maintained. So there are restrictions which are imposed by the seller so that he can have control over the whole market. The seller has complete hold over the supply in the market, and there are many legal ways to which are available for him to give this power to protect his monopoly in the market. Next is complete control over the market supply. Exactly. We know that the monopolist, he is the only one who is supplying the product in the market. Therefore, he has control. He has complete control over the market supply. He is the sole producer of the commodity. There are entry barriers such as natural. They can be natural, economic, technological, or legal, which do not allow competitors to enter into the market. And that's how he possesses complete control over the market supply of the product. Next is monopolist is the price maker. The person who decides the price of the product is known as price maker. The firm under monopoly is price maker and not price taker. That is, the monopolist, he can charge any price for the commodity as he has complete control over the supply of the product. He don't have to think about the competition. Therefore, it is his wish, his plans to decide the price of the commodity. Next point is price discrimination. Monopolist, this price discrimination means charging different prices for the same product to different buyers. The monopolist succeeds in increasing its profit margin by adopting the technique of price discrimination. He can charge more from the rich and less from the poor. No difference between firm and industry. Obviously, if there is only one seller, there is no distinction between the firm and industry. He is the only one who is a firm also, and he is the industry as well. Therefore, both are same in the monopoly market. These were the characteristics of a monopoly market. Now, let's come to the types of monopoly. First is private monopoly. As the name itself presents, the individual firm, it is this type of monopoly is created by individual firm or the person. Public monopoly, it refers to the sole ownership of the supply of goods or services by the side of the government. Such monopoly functions with the primary motive of providing the maximum welfare to the society. Therefore, this type of monopoly is also known as welfare monopoly. Here the intention is not to earn profit but to provide maximum welfare to the society. For example, we can take the example of Indian Railways. They don't work for earning profit but to provide the services to the common public. Next type is legal monopoly. Now, whenever the monopoly is created by law, it is known as legal monopoly. There are various legal provisions like patents, trademarks, copyrights, which give rights to legal monopolies. For example, some producers use a particular trademark for their product and they take legal permission from the government for that brand. This law forbids the potential competitors to imitate the design, form and shape of the product. If the firm tries to violate the rights, the actions can be taken against them. For example, Parle-G, etc. There are various brands who use this type of monopoly. This type of restrictions to get hold over the monopoly. Next comes natural monopoly. Sometimes monopoly itself is created by the side of the nature. It emerges due to the availability of natural resources. A particular type of natural resource is available, therefore that region enjoys monopoly in the product which require that natural resource. Natural advantages such as good location, good geographical conditions confirms natural monopoly. For example, the best example is tea from Assam. Next type is simple monopoly, when the monopolist charges a uniform price to all the consumers, for all the consumers. There is no price discrimination among the consumer. That type of monopoly is known as simple monopoly. Opposite to it, discriminating monopoly, when different prices are charged from different consumers, then this type of monopoly is known as, for the same product or services, it is known as price discrimination, and this type of monopoly is known as discriminating monopoly. For example, a lawyer or a doctor, he can charge different fees to the different classes of people, different customers who are coming to them. The last one is voluntary monopoly. When number of big business companies, they acquire monopoly through voluntary agreement. Business firms join together through trust, then cartels, syndicates, etc. They are called joint monopolies or voluntary monopolies. Mergers and amalgamations may also lead to monopoly. For example, OPEC. The best example is OPEC, oil producing and exporting countries. This is known as joint monopoly or voluntary monopoly. In this type of monopoly, many main players in the market, they come together to remove competition from the market from other competitors. These were the types of the monopoly. Let's come to what is price discrimination in monopoly. It can be personal, place-wise, time-wise or use-wise. Personal example, doctors and lawyers charge different fees from different patients according to their financial condition. Rich person, they can pay more, and poor people, they cannot pay normal fees also, so they can be charged less. Place-wise, we can see that rent in the areas which belongs to the rural region, rent is always low as compared to the urban areas. Time wise, if you take a taxi in the daytime, you will be charged normal charges, but if you take the same taxi for the same distance at the night time, you will be charged more. This applies in case of doctors also. When you visit during OPD hours, you will be charged less. When you visit during an emergency or during the night time, the fees will be high as compared to normal fees. Use different electricity charges for household and commercial purpose. We all know that in household the unit charges are different, and for industries the unit charges are different. This is also one of the example of price discrimination in monopoly. Now let's come to the main part of this recording, that is examples of monopoly. Here I have taken some examples to explain you, to make you understand how monopoly exists in real market, in today's life, in real life, how monopoly works and what are the strategies, what are the ways companies uses to maintain that monopoly. First example which I have taken is railways. Public services like railways are provided by the side of the government. Nowadays, privatization have interfered in this field also, but if we see, still the monopoly prevails of government in the field of railways. They are monopolist in the sense that new partners or private companies, they are not allowed without their permission to enter into the competition. Next example is Microsoft. We all know about Microsoft. It's a computer and software manufacturing company. It holds more than 75% market share and is the market leader and virtual monopolist in the technical space. Next example is Google. Who doesn't knows about Google? The biggest web searcher with their secret algorithm. They control more than 70% market share of the world. The company has grown into a web of services interlinked which are interlinked with each other, like maps, Gmails, translators, etc. The company has left its competitor. Many competitors were there, but the main competitor was Yahoo, far behind in its innovation and technological advancement. Next is patent. Legal monopoly is maintained with the help of patents. Patents provide legal monopoly to a company for a short period of time. During that time, when the patent is in force, no other company can use its invention for its own purpose. Now, very interesting example, AT&T. Those who doesn't know about this AT&T, let me tell you that AT&T was a telecommunication firm in year 1982 and it was the sole supplier of telephone services all across the US. The company was known by the name of Marble and it was forced to split into 6 subsidiaries called Baby Bills due to its monopolistic activities. But it succeeded in maintaining monopoly for long number of years. For long years it has maintained monopoly in the US market. Next is De Beers Group's Diamonds. It holds 80% of the market share of the whole market. De Beers is an international corporation that specializes in diamond exploration, diamond mining, diamond retail and diamond manufacturing sectors. The company is currently active in coastal and deep sea mining. It operates in more than 35 countries and since the start it has managed to control 80 to 85% of rough diamond distribution in whole of the world. Next example is eyewear, Luxottica, a company that owns all the major brands of sunglasses. And what a brilliant idea used by this company. The company has bought almost all the major eyewear brands. However, they are still named different. What does this do? This creates an illusion in the mind of the customer that they have variety of sunglasses to choose from. But in reality, they are all manufactured by one company, that is Luxottica. It produces more than 80% of the eyewears worldwide. Some of the examples of the companies which are selling products, sunglasses made by Luxottica are Ray-Ban, Oakley, Persol, etc. Next company is microprocessors. Intel Corporation is an American multinational corporation and technology company. It is headquartered in Santa Clara, California, and it is the world's largest and highest valued semiconductor chip manufacturer. And it is also the inventor of x86 microprocessors. If you don't know about x86 microprocessors, it is a processor which is in today's modern time found in most of the personal computers which we are using. Last example is lithium batteries by China. Lithium is the product which is only found in China and therefore China owns complete monopoly on the batteries which are made by using lithium. So these were the examples of some of the monopoly and also the strategies which were used by the companies to maintain their monopoly status in the world market. Hope you have understood the video, and if you have any doubt you can ask me. I will try to clear it as soon as possible. Thank you.